Welcome to JWL Sports, where we review all the best sports clips from around the world. If it's your first time checking out a video, please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. We're watching a clip of First Take with Stephen A. talking about the Warriors. Should we be sleeping on the Warriors? Can the Warriors actually rise to the occasion and win? They've been playing incredibly well since Draymond has come back from his suspension, and they had a big win against the Knicks. And so now the real question is are they legit? I have some pretty strong thoughts on this one. I am a huge Golden State Warriors fan. I lived out west in California and absolutely love them. I love Steph. I love the whole organization. Absolutely, watching them play is the exact type of basketball that I enjoy watching. And it just jumps off the screen for me. So full disclosure, I am a huge fan. But that doesn't mean that I think that they absolutely have a chance or that they're a dark horse. So I want to see what they have to say first, and then we can break it down from there.
Last night had 31 points and 11 rebounds as he led the Warriors to a 110-99 victory over the Knicks in the Garden. New York was still within 7 with under 3.5 remaining, but Curry made 3-pointers for Golden State's next 2 baskets to push the lead back into double digits. The Warriors closed off the month on fire, winning 11 of their 14 games in the month, closing the third best net efficiency behind the Celtics and Warriors, while the Knicks enter March ice cold, losing 8 of their 12 games in February with a negative net efficiency. But let's put this in perspective. I mean, the Knicks haven't had their team. They haven't been healthy, so let's be honest here. All right, Big Perk, tell me this. Are the Warriors the biggest dark horse in the West?
Oh, God. No, hell no.
Even with one eye, they're not, right, Perk?
They're sitting at the number 10 spot in the West, okay? That means that, hey, they're going to have to get out of the play-in tournament. Do I think they're going to be in the postseason for us being out of the play-in tournament when it starts? Hell no. For the simple fact that, guess what? They might just have to face the Los Angeles Lakers. And when I think about LeBron James and Steph Curry matching up, 2 out of the last 3 years, guess who sent them home? It was LeBron James. So before we could start talking about are they the dark horse of winning the Western Conference, they actually got to make the playoffs. They're in the play-in tournament right now. And I get it. They're playing some fantastic basketball right now. Jonathan Kuminga has found his niche. Steve Kerr has, trust in him. Steve Kerr has done an exceptional job for us mixing the vets with the young guys and his rotations. I get all that. But the fact of the matter is they're still sitting in the 10th spot, and I still don't believe that if they were to make the playoffs, they couldn't beat the Clippers, the Nuggets, or the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I hate to do this because this is my brother. This is my little big bro right here. I mean, I hate to do this, but I disagree with you. First of all, I'm not saying that first of all, I shouldn't say I disagree with you because I don't consider them the biggest dark horse out west. And I get where you're coming from about the Lakers because the Lakers are also in the playing. They
will play each other right now,
and they will play each other. So we get all of that, and the Lakers have sent them home. So they're not the biggest. You're right. I still think they're a very, very formidable threat. But I had to call Big Perk out on national television right now. Eminem. I usually wouldn't do that. I just messing with him about his eye. I knew it was makeup. I just messing with him about that. But I am messing with him about this too.
You knew it wasn't
So
makeup,
check this out. Yeah, I did. I mean, obviously it's you. I mean, you would be the expert. You would know. Here's the point, Eminem.
Yes.
Big Perk was on television the other night because when Big Perk's on, I got to watch. Okay. And he was on television the other night, and the Clippers were up on the Lakers. At halftime, Big Perk said, "You know something? It's just levels to this, and the Clippers are showing you. You know what I'm saying? It's just levels." And then LeBron James turned around and said, "Perk, what the hell were you talking about? What the hell were you saying?" And then all of a sudden, when we looking for Perk post-game, couldn't find him. So I just want to make sure that the world understands that Perk, the prophet that is Big Perk, isn't always prophetic. Not always. And so when you sit up here and you talk about the Golden State Warriors, even though I get where you're coming from, and don't lean all the way back because we need to see you. You're too big to be missed now. Here's the deal. When you look at Steph Curry, all right, and the greatness of Steph Curry, and I look at what the pieces around him are doing, yeah, they seem a bit too small. I get it. But when they're making shots, Lord have mercy. There's something to watch. And I'm just saying, don't sleep on the Warriors. Don't sleep on them. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
So, okay. It's weird for me to ever agree with Stephen A. But I agree with some of what he's saying with regards to all of this. And I agree with Perkins as well, which is also weird to say because I don't like to agree with either of these guys, quite honestly. The way I look at it is this. The Golden State Warriors right now, especially with their age more than anything, is that the playoffs are just so much more intense, more minutes played, the bench gets smaller, and the games, you're just getting the best effort every minute of every play, okay? And so when Steph Curry's body and Clay and Draymond and LeBron for that matter, they struggle in the playoffs now to be able to really do what they were able to do. They're going to be able to succeed during the regular season, these players, because the flow of the game is slower, less physical, less intense, more time off between games, and more rest, less minutes played, all of those things. So it makes it incredibly hard for a team like the Golden State Warriors, who are so old, to be able to really thrive. Not to mention, and it's not like the Warriors are known for getting the whistle and going to the free throw line, but again, it just becomes a much more physical game in the playoffs. The whistles are swallowed more often, which also then just takes a beating up on your body, right? I mean, when Steph put up 50 points last season, I mean, he was gassed. He was just done. That Kings oh my god, what's it called when two teams play each other for the round? That series, he was done. He was gassed. He just couldn't. He just had nothing left in the tank. And kind of similar thing with LeBron James throughout the series that he was playing. Like, he was going, and then he just ran out of gas. He just had nothing left, which is not the case that when they were in their prime. In 2016, 17, 18, 19, those guys could just go on and on and on and on and on forever. That's not the case right now. So when you say, are they a dark horse team to win the West, or to be, to make some moves in the playoffs, it's so much easier said than done. There's a reason why we see so many players, and teams for that matter, not be able to get stuff done in the playoffs, because the regular season is different than the playoffs, okay? And different body types and different ages really matter. The biggest thing that the Golden State Warriors have for them, going for themselves, is that they do know how to win. You do have Steph, you do have Dre, you do have Clay, and you do have Steve Kerr. They know how to win, and Wiggins for that matter. Like, they know how to win. Other teams don't always know how to win, okay? So if the Golden State Warriors have Minnesota, down by 9, down by 10, it'll be a lot easier for them to close that out, because the Timberwolves haven't been there before. They don't really know how to come back down by 9 with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. The Warriors, on the other hand, can be down by 15 with 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and they know, we got this. We got this. And they've done it many times. So it's different. It's very similar to me of that of Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs with Andy Reid. They're just so comfortable in every situation that they know exactly what to do in any given moment. That's what the Warriors have going for them more than really any other team in the NBA right now, because they've done it so many times and they've done it in so many different ways that any of the current construction teams, like LeBron knows, but not of all of LeBron's teammates know. The Nuggets have won, obviously, last season, but they haven't had the extended success that the Warriors have had. So it's just one of those things where I would never fully count out the Warriors, but I'm not necessarily betting on them either. And again, I love the Warriors, and I think the NBA is better when the Warriors are playing at a high level and are competing. It's exciting. It's great. Their game is just an exciting game to watch. Steph is an exciting player to watch. So, I want to see them succeed and play well. But whether or not Steph and Clay and Dre and Wiggins for that matter can hold up in the playoffs, if there's any indicator from last season to this season, the answer is, I don't know about that, right? Chris Paul is a great basketball player. He gets to the playoffs and his body's always breaking down. Joel Embiid, the best example of this right now, plays unbelievable during the regular season, but then his body starts to break down near the end of the season into the playoffs. He's never healthy going into the playoffs. That's kind of the risk that you run with the Golden State Warriors when you're just an older team. We saw this with Chris Paul when he was playing for the Phoenix Suns. They're playing so well, everything's so great, and in the playoffs, and then he gets banged up, he gets injured, his shoulder's hanging on by a thread, and it's like, that's what happens. That's what happens. So that's why you can't just start praising, can't count out the Golden State Warriors. They are the champs for a reason. This is who they are. They're the dynasty. They're the Warriors. It's, they're holding on, and it's interesting, but it seems like they needed, in order to win, they need Kuminga to be like 27 and in his prime, right? Steph Curry still leading the way is when you get yourself in trouble with the Warriors, because he's not going to be able to lead the way in every single playoff game. And he showed that last season, and when it was time for someone else to help pick up the slack, like a Clay, they couldn't do it. Unless, when Steph Curry was on the court, they played unbelievable. When he was off the court, every time he was off the court, they collapsed. And that's why then he was playing so many minutes, and he was just done. He was just gassed. You could just see it. He was just done. So that's the risk they run. I know they're trying to resolve that and solve that going into the playoffs. Maybe they have. I don't know. But I'm really interested to see how this shapes up. Hopefully they make it into the actual playoffs. I would love to see a legit series. I'd love to see them go up against the Lakers again. That could be fun. I'd love to see them be able to actually potentially give a competitive series against the Denver Nuggets. I think that could also be pretty interesting because, right, it's kind of the team that's trying to take the baton of now being, dynastic, while the Golden State Warriors might be like, no, this is still our land. So it could be really interesting. I'm really excited for the playoffs. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. If you think what I'm saying is the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard, please let me know in the comments below. If you think what I'm saying is the most amazing thing, then definitely please let me know. Either way, let's get into some discussions. Let's get into some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. Thank you so much, and see you next time.